Congratulations to your dad on nailing 2 hot lovers. Happy Thanksgiving, you know what I mean? He's probably so
Your dad sounds like
grateful for all that.
Send him a picture of me and see what he thinks. I'm curious how I do in the dad market. Here's our intro. Hey, welcome to Wine About It.
Hey, welcome to Wine About It.
Guess what? This episode was going to be on Patreon, but then we decided that our YouTube episode was so controversial to put it on Patreon. And so now, hey, YouTube, you get our juicy Patreon content, which is usually more fun, if I'm being honest.
Honestly, it'll be interesting to see a Patreon episode on YouTube because they say on Patreon it feels more like a phone call, like it's just way more chilled out. So we'll see what they think about it.
It's a Freaky Friday over here.
Happy freaky funky fresh
the switcheroo
freaking Friday.
Anyway, on this day's episode, we went to Twitter. Wait, no, I did explain that. You see what I say. See you later. Or enjoy the episode.
Enjoy the episode. Don't leave until it's over. Okay. All right, you want to hear the drama?
Yeah.
I already told you about it a little bit. I shouldn't have, but I told you a little bit, but I'm going to tell you more. I've been watching this horrible show that I think I told you guys I'm watching, and it's called Married at First Sight, and or it's called Why Not? It's on Netflix, and it's where you answer this really long questionnaire, and they match you up with somebody, and then you meet at the altar at your wedding, and then you are married for 8 weeks, and then in 8 weeks you decide if you want to stay married or get divorced. But this is all done with people in the same city because they have to live together for 8 weeks. And like, it can't be like across the country moving like in 8 weeks, which isn't realistic. So I think the first one that I watched was in Atlanta, and the second one that I watched is in Houston, and I'm going to spoil. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So be prepared. One of the couples went to college together. The two that got married. So like when they saw each other walking down the aisle, they were like, oh shit. Like I know this person. And I've never seen that happen before on the show where they like knew each other. They obviously have to go through and eliminate old exes and like people that they don't want to be married to. Like they give them a list of like, do not match me with this name or this whatever. But you can't go through their whole life. So like they didn't know that they knew each other. And it's like a nightmare because this girl had a crush on him all through college. And she, not very directly, but like kind of asked him to go on a date once. She was like, I want to go to this art exhibit. And she was like, but no one will go with me, hee hee. And then he was like, oh, I would go with you. And then she said something about like scheduling, and he never responded. So she like wanted to go on a date with this guy and then didn't, but always had a crush on him. But he ghosted her, and now they're married. And now he's being really mean to her. And it's really sad. That's my story.
But they're married.
They're married, but they're not going to make it. I haven't gotten to the part where if they make it or not. But he was like, look, like, I'm going to be honest. We could have done this 10 years ago when we were in college. We could have been together, but I wasn't attracted to you then, and I'm not attracted to you now. And that's why we weren't together, and that's why this isn't going to work. And I was like, holy
gosh. What are their names? I want to look at them.
Johnny and Bao.
Johnny and Bao.
B-A-O.
Married at First Sight.
Yeah.
Johnny and Bao Married at First Sight images.
He is not out of her league. Let me just throw it out there.
He is not out of her league.
Let me just say that. He is not out of her league.
Wait, she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
He is not hot. She's gorgeous.
And he's been really mean, and it makes me really sad.
Ew, him.
Like he said other quotes from him. A lot of times during this experiment, I just wish I was paired with anybody else. This one's the worst one. Wait, no. This is the worst one. He said they weren't like intimate, which they talk about way too much on the show, by the way. It's like very uncomfortable. If
they have sex or not?
Yeah. It's very uncomfortable. And the therapists come in here, the fake freaking therapist that I've talked to you about, and they're just like, so have you guys consummated the marriage? And it's like just so uncomfortable. But they were talking about their lack of intimacy, and the therapist, actually the pastor in the situation, was like, so what's going on? And Johnny was like, well, I don't want to say anything because it's going to make her upset. And they were like, no, like, you're gonna have to say it. Like, it's part of being married is communicating. And he was like, sometimes when you get happy, you get really giddy and it's childlike. And they play a compilation of when she's being like cute and she's happy about something, or he'll give her like a chocolate or something and she'll be like, ooh, chocolate. Or like, he'll go in to give her a hug and she'll like look up and give like fish kisses or something at him. Or she'll be like, oh my God, this is so cute. Like, I love it so much. Just like a compilation of her being giddy and sweet. And he was like, you get really giddy and it's childlike and I find it unattractive. It turns me off.
Yeah, they shouldn't be together.
Oh my God. You could never, that poor girl, you could never get rid of that.
This is irreversible trauma.
Yeah, absolutely. You could never be happy again. It's awful. It's an awful thing to tell someone.
That's so bad.
Yeah. Actually, someone's told me that before. So, in personal experience, that's an awful thing to tell someone and it never goes away. Because then you're like, I don't want to be too happy around them because they think it's unattractive. It's awful. It's an awful thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I Googled to see if they were still together and I can't find an answer, so I won't spoil it for myself, I suppose. But I doubt they are. I
would be shocked if they did not get divorced at the end of the 8 weeks. I really hope they do.
That's so stupid.
I don't like him.
Yeah, I mean, even that's so dumb.
Yeah,
Just do a normal ass dating show. Why would you do that?
True. Fair. Yep.
Wow.
I think some of those couples do stay together, but that's the problem with like dating shows on Netflix is 100% of them want to be on Netflix, right? 100% of them want to be a reality TV star and want to be on the show. And that layer at the very, very beginning of any relationship is detrimental.
Yeah, for sure.
Like how
everyone's there with different motives. No one's actually there to marry someone. They're all there to just get a piece of pie.
They broke the fourth wall on an episode I was watching today. One of the girls was like talking to Bao about Johnny. And she was like, I'm going to be honest. I think there are some people here who think of their marriages as real and some people who don't. And I was like, she called him a clout whore.
He is a clout whore.
Yeah. Not nice.
Screw him. Oof, yeah. My ears hurt. Ow.
Sad. He also wouldn't let her come to a family barbecue. And he told his family, he was like, I don't want you guys to get attached to her and get to know her when I don't even like her.
Ew.
He's so mean. So mean, that poor girl.
What an asshole.
I know.
I'm going to his Instagram. What's his Instagram?
Oh, I have no idea.
I'm seeing if people are like mean to him on Instagram. Love thy neighbor, but I just want to see.
I don't even know how to find it. Oh my God, you found it.
Wow, space.
How did you find it? Oh man. I would cry if I see her in
he has 42K on Instagram now, which he definitely didn't have before.
I think he's got a new girlfriend.
Yeah, it looks like it on Instagram.
Wow, it's very interesting. Man, he posts a lot. He's posted 5 times in the last 5 days. Oh, 6 times in the last 6 days. Hold on. Wow. He's an influencer.
What a little bitch. I think he's a bitch. That's what I think he is.
You guys don't need to go harass John. Hold on. You don't have to go. Don't do that.
Don't harass him.
I'm just talking shit in the Patreon chamber.
We're just
He's just said some mean things on the show. It's not nice.
Yeah, I was just saying if because sometimes people get extra and they go and but most of his pictures only have 1 comment.
Yeah.
So I don't think.
He's not famous after all.
Strange. How interesting. He does have a new girlfriend though.
Yeah.
Poor Bao. I hope she's happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, shall we? Shall we dig in?
Yeah. I want to see him.
We went to Twitter and our Discord, the Patreon Discord. You should be in it if you're watching this right now. If you're not, figure out how to connect your Discord to Patreon because I don't know how, but that's how you get your invite to it. We asked you guys to submit your Thanksgiving stories because drama. And some of them are good, some of them are bad. As in one person wrote like, oh, a baby threw juice at my sister and she was mad. And it's like, okay, that's not, if that's your family drama, congratulations.
Lucky you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. Let's see. First one I have is okay. Submitted by Anonymous, which I gave them the opportunity to be anonymous if they would like. I'm on submission 4, Anonymous. Okay. It says, tell us your story. My twin sister used to see an NFL player on and off. Kind of just hookup buddies, and they'd play League of Legends together.
Okay.
In parentheses, it says he's a bronze Teemo main, which is very funny. Not to you, but to all League of Legends players, it's very funny. Earlier this summer, she gets a call from a random number and doesn't answer, but she sensed something was off, so she Google reverse searches this number, and it belongs to who she thinks this player's ex-girlfriend, who at the time lived in the player's home state where they played college football. It's interesting.
Okay.
So my sister just thinks this is an ex from college and ignores it. Anywho, time passes and the ex-girlfriend moves to this state. And my sister is still on and off friends with this guy. Well, the day before Thanksgiving, a video of this player was posted on Twitter of him and his, in quotations, ex-girlfriend, actually real girlfriend, passing out food at a food bank. Turns out they were dating this whole time.
No.
And he literally also recently was telling my sister over Snap that he should keep a photo of her in his wallet for good luck because we went to a game the other week and he broke a 30-year record of receiving yards for the team. He also allegedly could only last 10 seconds. So like karma, baby.
Oh my God.
Screenshots are attached. Don't show on stream. Just show Cutie Maya as proof. We're good. We won't. We believe you. Love your guys' content. Love learning about the ambassadors at Alveus and watching Cutie's unique streams. No one doesn't like you too. That is so crazy.
Man, that's so sad, dude.
So the girl was probably calling her to like do like girl code check.
Hey girly, do you know so-and-so?
Hey girly, I found your number in his phone.
So
like, what's going on?
Is your sister gonna call that number or what?
Yeah.
Is your sister gonna tell the girl or what? Because she
girl
should.
code, she needs to call that number back.
She needs to tell the girl. That's so sad.
Oh, your poor sister. That's so sad.
Yeah, it sucks.
I need like closure to the story. Like, did she confront him?
Yeah.
Did she TP his house?
I mean, it sounds like nothing. I feel like she would have said more if more has happened.
Yeah.
I feel like it hasn't.
That sucks.
Yeah, that sucks so bad. I feel so bad for her.
That's so sad.
NFL.
Yeah, now you just have to watch him.
Interesting.
That's a problem with dating celebrity. So I actually saw this TikTok that was like, I slept with my celebrity crush and now no one will ever be the same to me. She's like, everyone else in the world is chum now.
Oh.
That's not my problem with sleeping with a celebrity crush. I think the problem with sleeping with a celebrity crush is that you will then see them on buses, in billboards, or commercials, or whatever.
Fair. Yeah,
it's like, that's
Travis
torture.
Kelce better never, ever get up.
Oh, he's... Joe Alwyn has probably just been watching The Universe lately.
Yeah.
And The Universe is just yelling Taylor Swift, and he's like, holy shit.
That sucks. Really
I think Lady Gaga's boyfriend was like one of the first people that like ever like
said
published
that?
an interview where he was like, yeah, that sucks. Like, her face is in Times Square. Like, I have to walk past it to go to work. Like, that's not normal.
Yeah, that's not normal.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right. Well, I hope your sister tells that girl. That's tragic for your sister and the girl. I hate him.
That's heartbreak, baby. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Our next one.
One of my parents' friends from church learned that I'm trans and gay on Thanksgiving and then proceeded to burn the pumpkin pie and refuse to play any games that I was a part of. We are a big board game and card game family. He eventually agreed to play Mafia, but would vote or kill me first every round.
Oh my God.
I confronted him about it and he cried and said he didn't want me to be a woman because he wanted his son to have a good friend and thought I would turn his son trans. His son is 10 and I'm 19. I've spoken maybe 50 words to his son in the 3 years we've known him.
Oh my God.
I said that I wouldn't do that and that isn't how being trans works, but he wouldn't hear it. My parents don't like the fact that I'm trans either, so they took his side and got mad at me.
Huh?
They were all wine drunk this whole time and I was the only one that had only one glass, allegedly. This was in front of my dad's college roommate from the 90s and his family, another family from their church, and my brother-in-law and my sister, and my brother and his girlfriend. None of them knew I was trans until last week. I've been texted, we're praying for you messages all week, and it's kind of been hell, but none of them have done anything harmful, at least. I'm not too worried about it. Hope you get a kick out of this. Love the pod.
Oh.
Damn.
My God.
Is this this is a screenshot from...
Yeah,
is this
hey,
one
brother.
that they want us to share?
Yeah, they're fine with it.
Okay. You want to read it? It's
hey,
a text
brother,
message.
I hope that you're able to be connected with the pastor's name soon and tell him what's going on. He cares about you, and as your discipleship leader and godly brother, he can handle whatever you throw at him. There is so much freedom and grace that we can receive when we open up about what's going on inside. When we hide sin or refuse to allow others to help carry our burdens, it weighs us down and destroys us. I'm praying that you know today that you are loved and that you are cared for, or your worth is found in Christ. Therefore, confess your sins to one another and pray for one another that you may be healed. He sent him James chapter 5, verse 16.
We were saying on the YouTube episode, I hope you guys didn't have as heavy of a Thanksgiving as Cutie, but that is traumatic. I'm so sorry. That's so unfair.
Oh my God.
I'm shocked that there's no one in your family that, well, unless there was, I mean, maybe hopefully there is, that is a sort of ally here. Where they're like, no, I got you.
Oh, this is tragic.
You know, or something. At least, I mean, this is not the same as your family, but at least I feel like everyone in the Patreon,
yeah,
and us certainly.
Hey, find support in the Discord for
go
sure.
Girl, like that's sick. But that's
my God, I'm so sorry.
I know
that's
neither
awful.
of us know how to respond to this one.
I'm just like my mind is just like that's so awful.
Yeah. This is not hot drama. This is really fucked up.
Yeah, that's so sad. I'm so sorry. I think I mean it is drama, but sadly you're at the butt end of it. You are the one that is getting bullied. It sounds like you're handling it very well.
Shockingly well.
You should not be handling it this well. You can be upset. I will say, as you get older, you're 19 now. As you get older, you will learn more and more how sometimes your family is just what you're born into. They're not necessarily your family. You can choose your own family to some capacity. And I hope you find a much better support system than that, because holy shit, you do not deserve that.
But also...
And also tell them to love thy neighbor.
Tell them that. You say, every time they talk to you, you say, oop, that was an inside thought.
Oop.
Oop. Keep that one to
that
yourself.
Makes me feel unwelcome.
That's transphobic.
Killed me mafia. Transphobe.
Also though, I mean, you make your own decisions and what's best for you, obviously, but don't lose hope. It doesn't sound like you are, but you don't have to lose hope on them completely right away. A lot of times, especially with older people and family members, like it takes time for them to accept things. I know there are a lot of people in my life who are gay, whose parents were not okay with it at the start, like kicked them out, not okay with it.
I'm still not okay that Prezzo's gay.
Yeah. It's just because I don't like him.
Yeah. He is not, listen, no one, I can't figure out how to articulate my joke. I'm out. Okay. Tapping out of it. I wanted to be like, the gays don't deserve Prezzo. But that means that
Prezzo doesn't deserve the
him.
gays.
Yeah, Prezzo, there you go. Thank you. Prezzo doesn't deserve the gays. Okay.
That there's, you know, I hope that they come around for you. I hope that, you know, that they take some time to process
there
and
is
realize
hope,
that they still
even
love
subtly.
you.
Like my stepbrother is trans, and like my dad, who's like been in the bishopric, very, very Mormon, will at least use the correct pronouns for him now. So like, this is a step. You know, it's really shitty. Seems like bare minimum when you're telling someone, hey, I want to be like respected. Especially when religion is involved. It's like, holy shit. Right. Don't you preach like be acceptance? And then you say like, so silly.
Well, yeah, I hope you have a support network beyond that.
Whew. But congratulations on coming out. That's very exciting.
Yes, that's awesome. Love that for you.
Okay. Next one is number 26. I've been told is juicy. I'm clicking. I guess I could have just typed in 26, but now I'm on 25, so I might as well. Okay. I've got it. Mountain biking vampire witch submitted this.
Okay.
Okay. My boyfriend and I went over.
Was the title. Okay.
No, they don't. I didn't tell them to title their stories.
Okay.
Title your stories. Maybe next time. My boyfriend and I went over to his sister's for Thanksgiving. It was us, his sister, and her friend, and his parents, and his dad's old friend who was randomly invited. He ended up showing up before the parents, so it was already super awkward, especially since he opened up with, I only do fist bumps and sometimes side hugs.
Okay, I like him.
No, he sounds chill. But she included a barfing emoji, so not chill. Not chill.
Weird vibes. All right.
Yeah. Eventually, my boyfriend's parents show up, but this guy literally talked about his issues the entire time. Me at Thanksgiving.
Poor guy. Gosh.
Before dinner, he went into detail about his mother dying in a house fire. Oh. Damn. And then during dinner, he talked shit about his ex-wife.
That's funny.
How it was all, this is like slime in 20 years.
That's so funny.
This is slime showing up to my Thanksgiving and like saying to my kids, like, I only do fist bumps and sometimes side hugs. He's like, my damn ex-wife took half. My mom died in a fire, and we're like, slime, that's not how she died. And she's like, she died in a fire. So he was talking about how it was all her fault that she was pitting kids against them. She got to keep the house, even though it was his. And how the judge hated him for no reason, and he was blaming the lawyers.
Oh my God.
But then it got crazy. He changed his story mid-dinner. Originally, he said that the house belonged to him and the land was given to her by her family. But later, he said the opposite and that his parents bought the land and she inherited the house. How does that work?
Oh, no.
He would complain about how his kids hated him because his wife was poisoning their view of him, but would talk about how he would always make excuses not to go to their extracurricular activities. Aw. He said something along the lines of, I'm playing the long game. Eventually they'll realize who was right and who was wrong.
Oh, yikes. Oh, geez.
At one point, he literally said he understood why people killed their wives. We dipped as soon as we could. Long story short, he's not invited to Christmas.
Oh my God, that's so scary.
What?
I don't like that at all. That's sorry.
That's terrifying.
That he ruined your Thanksgiving.
Oh my gosh.
My neighbor came to Thanksgiving and he told all of us how he broke up with his high school girlfriend because he saw her pick her nose and eat it. But they were together for like 10 months or something. And he looked at her and she thought he wasn't looking and he saw it. So he broke up with her.
And how did he say it directly? Was he like, oh,
I don't know. I don't think so. Probably not.
Why didn't you get these details? What's wrong with you?
I actually wasn't there.
Oh.
He said this to my family. He never told her about it. Space was there. Our producer was there.
He never told
her why he was breaking up with her. But that's why.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. What are the screenshots from this submission? Are they good, or are they just like talking like that guy was crazy? Because some of them are just used for proof, and some of them are like, you know, needed for context. Proof, don't think it needs to be shown. Okay, perfect.
Cool.
Man, that sucks. It sucks when your parents have weird friends.
Yeah, that is rough.
Also, warning you, as a child of divorce, they don't care who was right or who was wrong.
The child?
The child does not care. I assure you. They just want love.
Yeah.
And a parent. So, like, you should do that.
Yeah, that's an awful way to...
If you're currently fighting with your bitch ex-wife, figure it out. Grow up. Love thy neighbor.
I saw this crazy TikTok.
Am I religious?
Of a girl who... her baby's father was, like, trying to get custody and, like, all the texts with him. And she was like, my lawyer told me... Which she should not be posting on TikTok, for the record.
No.
It was, like, 200 likes.
Oh, God.
But her lawyer was like, speak to him legally, and it's all in writing and whatever. And her ex-boyfriend would send texts to... Her daughter's, like, 4. And would send texts like, it's okay, baby. I'm coming for you. I'm sorry that your mom is crazy, but we're going to get her help and I'm going to save you. Like, he would send that to her, and then she would reply, she can't read, David. You know, like, or whatever. Like, he expected her to read that to the daughter or something. Just a wild ride.
Okay, sorry, not gonna read this to the 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Also, like, the house is locked. Please do not show up.
Yeah, this is scary stuff, man.
Oh
I'm sorry
God.
your parents have scary friends.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's the end of that one. All right,
yeah, hopefully you never have to see him again. And hopefully he doesn't murder his ex-wife.
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay, they said this one's kind of long. Also, if we show this screenshot, we should edit it. And it is number 35, and it's submitted by Heinies. This is people's Twitch names, by the way.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
I didn't have a Thanksgiving with my family, but I had a Thanksgiving with my friends because I live with my 2 best friends in a house. So I don't know if this counts, but I'll tell you anyway.
Okay.
For context, my friend... Are these the fake names that she's giving us? Or is she wanting us to insert... I'm just going to make up names.
Okay.
For context, my friend Sarah started dating this guy named Robert about 6 months ago. We are all 21 through 23 years old. They met at a party and hooked up, started dating shortly after. When getting to know each other, Sarah found out that Robert had sketchy relationships with girls in the past, and he claimed they always broke up with him and they were crazy. Ooh.
Dude, biggest red flag in the whole wide world. If you're like, tell me about your last relationship, and he says she was crazy.
Yeah.
No.
Sarah never told me much about the relationship before, but he was over almost every day until about September. She didn't tell me why, and I didn't ask, but on November 1st, we were putting up Christmas lights together, and she decided to spill everything. Apparently, she told him she loved him, and he didn't say it back for like a month. He claimed he didn't know what love felt like, so he didn't say it, but he would say, I love you to his friends and hobbies and whatnot.
Oh, God.
She asked why he could say, I love you to his friends and not her, and he said it was because he didn't see her as a friend. It's very confusing.
Yeah, he's a hipster.
Very confusing. Conflict kept building up from there. Then Halloween night comes around, the night before she started telling me everything, and Sarah planned a girls' night where she went to haunted houses with some of her friends. Robert originally had plans, but I think she said they fell through. She told me he forgot his Halloween costume to bring to university and was super bummed about it all day, so she suggested he go hang out with his friends Halloween night. He didn't answer her text, so at 10 p.m., she's been texting updates about her night, and he hasn't said a word, so she checks his location. He's in the middle of Washington Avenue, the street known for bars and clubs, and still hasn't texted her, but she brushed it off. Around 2 a.m., he comes back to our house to hang out with her, I guess, but then tells her what he was up to. Apparently, he went to a club, met a group of 3 girls, and hung out with them all night. He bought them drinks, gave one of them his hoodie because she was cold, then drove one of the girls home because she got too drunk. He claims
but he wasn't drunk. Okay.
He claims they flirted with him, but he told them he had a girlfriend.
Oh,
Sarah
he's so
obviously
strong.
was upset by this and said his actions broke boundaries. Robert said he didn't know because their boundaries were never discussed specifically, and he thought she was more of a secure person.
Shut up.
Asshole.
Robert's a bitch.
Bitch.
We hate Robert. Maybe, actually, hey, we're halfway through the story. Maybe he comes back. I'll give him a chance.
We should do one of these for just like relationship stories.
We should. I like these. These have been fun.
I love the drama.
It's our only way to stop talking shit is we listen to other people's shit. This is just other people telling us their shit, so we're not talking shit.
That is why I watch Netflix reality shows. I tell people I'm microdosing on the job. He still hasn't said I love you back at this point, just a reminder. After this, she told me she was giving him a deadline to say I love you.
Oh, my queen.
On Thanksgiving Day, he was supposed to decide whether or not he wanted to stay with her or not.
My queen, no.
All right, fast forward. It's Thanksgiving Day. We're having a Friendsgiving, so everyone's there. Huh?
He's going to propose. Everything's
the
going to be
boyfriends
safe.
And everything. We were just eating, and it was all pretty chill until Sarah made some joke that was along the lines of, do you even want to be in a relationship, to Robert. He was super awkward about it and didn't answer. So now it's awkward for everyone. And they left the house to talk, and we thought they were going to be gone for like 20 minutes, but they were gone for 4 hours. Sarah came back alone. Those are the worst, dude. You go out, you sit there and talk for hours, and it's just like walls and tears and doom,
he does feel like
gloom.
One of those guys, though.
Yeah. When we asked what happened, she said she repeatedly asked if he wanted to be in a relationship, and he wouldn't respond. But eventually he said back when they first started dating he wanted a relationship. Now things have changed. She doesn't know anymore.
Oh my God, shut up.
You would think she would break up with him at this point, but she doesn't. Apparently, he said he had a headache and wanted to talk about it tomorrow instead. Talk about what? You guys talked for 4 hours already. They're still together today. Love really does make people blind. Girl, please snap out of it. Watching everything go down with their relationship was originally pretty entertaining because my life was stable and boring, but now it's just stupid.
Oh my God, make her watch the podcast. Sarah,
that's your fake name.
Break up with your boyfriend.
Because he sucks.
I guess I'm not bored. I'm fine, mostly. I'm actually really busy right now.
That's, yeah, it certainly doesn't sound good. That going out that night with the girls, that would be it for me. It's not about him being unsure. It's more about that for me.
Ugh, what a bitch. It's the I love you thing. That, like,
wait, how long have they been together?
It looks like a few months, right? Started dating this guy about 6 months ago. Yeah.
Oh. I don't think you have to say I love you after 6 months. That part doesn't bother me as much.
No, but like a bogus response. Like maybe he's just like, hey, I don't know if I love you yet. But to be like, I don't know what I love you means.
I only don't say I love you because I don't think of you as a friend.
Yeah. I just like, you know.
That's the other thing, Sarah. Don't date someone stupid. Don't date someone that's dumb and can't articulate.
Know what I love you means? He's stupid.
Yeah, and can't articulate his feelings. Okay, that's gonna get boring.
Oh my God,
and frustrating.
I hope that this is what you need to do. Heinies, you need to like casually like bring up like, oh, I really love this podcast. If you want to listen to it, like here's their bonus episode, and then she'll be sitting there, and then she'll hear us, and she'll be like, that sounds like me, and then she'll be like, oh, we'll be like, bish, move on. You're way too hot. This is something someone told me when I was wasting my time on a boy, and it changed my life because I broke up with his ass and I said, see you later. It was my friend's mom, and it was kind of mean, and it still haunts me, but it was also what I needed at the time. She said, you will never be hotter than you are right now. Because I was like 20. And I was like, that's not true. I'm going to grow. My breasts haven't developed yet. They're going to come. I was like, surely when I'm 25. Like, nope.
This is your peak. This is your peak.
You will never get hotter than you are right now. Unless you're like 17, you'll get hotter. Also, if you're 17, please don't listen to the podcast. But like, you're like as hot as you can be between the years of like 20 and probably 23. I don't want to be mean to our older folks, but I feel like I fell off after 27. So I'm going to say 20 to 27 is when you're the hottest you can be. And then you start falling off and weird stuff starts happening. Your hips get bigger. You start growing like weird ass chin hairs. And you're like, what? You can still be hot. It's just a lot more work. You have it easy right now. Don't waste your time on this asshole.
The other thing that is going to be hard for me to articulate probably is if you're in a relationship and you find yourself regularly having normal days, normal moments where everyone else is chill, but it's like taken over by pages of text, spam texts or calls or 4 hours of talking in a car where you're both just miserable and going nowhere. No. You gotta leave, dude. It's not worth the time, and it's just never gonna change. And
he's never gonna be worth it.
Experience doing those, like I have lost days in like hours, days to men that are no longer in my life in any capacity. Those relationships, they're not it. Not worth it.
Ugh, sad.
You're like hanging out with your girlfriends and you're getting blown up because your boyfriend's mad about who knows. Nope.
Dude, part of me is wondering, tell me your thoughts on this. Maybe this is a crazy and you're gonna be like, cutie, shut the fuck up. And that's fine if you say this. Part of me feels like maybe we should put this episode on YouTube and the other episode on YouTube on Patreon.
Maybe. I feel like I haven't been treating this like a YouTube episode. I can't tell.
You've been too cozy?
Yeah.
I just feel like it's such like, these are such fun, like important things that it's like, we got to get to the masses, not just the 8K on Patreon. But maybe I'm also being scared a little bit because I was vulnerable and I also,
well, if you don't want that on YouTube, we can put that on Patreon.
Maybe we should swapsies.
Okay.
We'll think about it.
Wait, I don't want our YouTube audience to harass Johnny. Here, now, if this is on YouTube right now, don't go brigade someone because also, I said I didn't like him in the safety of our Patreon.
Love thy neighbor, and if you don't know that reference, go watch the Patreon episode.
Love thy neighbor, and inside thoughts, stay inside.
Inside thoughts need to stay inside, and love thy neighbor.
So confused, and right?
We don't harass anybody. And go to the Patreon now.
That's so funny.
Maybe we should. It's kind of funny. We'll see what happens. If we're on YouTube right now, hey, we'll talk about it.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah. Anyway, we have 2 more.
Okay.
We didn't even do an intro.
Well, because we were doing the Patreon. We didn't even talk. They're gonna be like, why aren't they talking about Thanksgiving? Like, yeah, I feel like the episode that we recorded before this was way more like updatey, which I think is what YouTube normally expects.
I'm getting nervous because I'm like, what if, because I was just with my family, what if they watched the podcast to see if I talked about them? And then I did talk about them.
Okay, then we can swap it.
Should they swap it? So then if they want to find out if I talked about them, they have to spend $5.
Wait, but you just said it. So if they're watching this episode to figure out if I talked about
they have to give me $5 at least. And then I like.
Okay.
We'll think about it. 2 more. We'll do an intro at the end in case we need to glue it to the front.
Okay.
We're fine. We're professionals. Okay.
We had the sad story on this one too.
What sad story?
Yeah,
but that's also a really important story, and people don't know that this was just going to be on the Patreon.
I feel like I did a bad job responding to it.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I feel like I didn't say enough.
Was I politically correct now?
No, not that. I just feel like it wasn't enough. But I don't think anything would be.
No, you can never.
All right, we'll talk about it. Whatever. Let's just continue.
Yeah, let's just keep going. You can never do enough for like. Yeah. Awful things happen, and it's like impossible to contextualize emotion behind it a lot of the times. Okay. 58. This one was submitted by Andy Dragon. They said, Thanksgiving was just my dad and I this year because my brother was working. Sorry, my eyes. My eyes got so dry that I got distracted. Okay. Thanksgiving was just my dad and I this year because my brother was working. I thought maybe his new girlfriend would join us, but I didn't ask about her when she ended up not being there. So my dad decides after dinner he wants to do a puzzle. So we're working on one, but he keeps checking his phone. I think maybe Samantha will join us. But then, like 20 minutes later, there's a noise outside and he goes, oh my God. He goes, oh, there's Ashley. I ask him who that is, and he says it's his new friend. Ashley walks in obvious date attire, and I'm sitting there at the table halfway through the puzzle wondering how I've ended up intruding on my father's date on Thanksgiving. We're both awkwardly looking at each other, and I say I can head out, and my dad just says no, and continues to do the puzzle. So somehow we all end up working on this puzzle, Ashley included. In the silence, aside from the occasional, oh, this piece goes here. At this point, I am trying to speedrun this puzzle so I can get the hell out of there. An excruciating half hour later, we're finally down to the last piece, and my dad insists that we all put a finger on the last piece and put it in together. So that was my weird Thanksgiving story. Attached is a picture of our finished puzzle. Wow. It's a beautiful puzzle.
Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see it.
I think, because I used the name Samantha and Ashley, because this person used 2 names. So I thought maybe he was like cheating on his girlfriend with his new friend, but I can't tell if they accidentally just used a real name and then a fake name. But he said his new friend, so maybe he was cheating on his girlfriend.
I didn't catch that bit.
I caught it. Because that would be extra spicy. But he did say new friend. She's sitting there.
Old girlfriend. Tell the old one.
Girl code.
Girl code. Tell the old one.
Yep, but how do you get in contact?
You don't have to be a girl to do girl code.
Yeah.
For the record.
It's girls, gays, and guys.
Yeah.
It's everyone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Congratulations to your dad on nailing 2 hot lovers. Happy Thanksgiving, you know what I mean? He's probably so grateful for all that.
Send him a picture of me and see what he thinks. Because I'm curious. I'm curious how I do in the dad market.
That's so funny.
Okay. Okay. 72 is our last one. And my mod just said kind of sad.
No.
As long as it's not a pet dying, I think I can process it.
We need to do one of these where it's straight juicy draw
hot
posting.
Goss.
Yeah.
Tell us the hot goss of when you found your stepsister was sleeping with your brother.
Whoa, that's not okay. All right, are you ready?
This was submitted by Anonymous.
All right, here we go. I'm just going to use the names they used because it's anonymous and they just wrote a name. Is that fine?
Okay. Yeah. Because I told them to put fake names if they don't want the name. So I assume they put fake.
All right. My 23-year-old...
No.
What?
When she says she's saying she's 23-year-old female.
Oh, she wrote this like Reddit.
Yeah.
She's 23.
Yes.
Little brother, 20 years old.
Uh-huh.
Brought his new girlfriend of 6 months home for Thanksgiving. I haven't seen him in almost a year due to him living in the South now. I'm in Rhode Island. This is his first serious girlfriend. So I was interested to see how it would go considering they're so young. The girl is a very nice, sweet Southern girl, Gina. Sweet Southern girl. The first red flag appeared when the day they arrived, my brother said he was hungry after dinner, which was cooked by my mom. Gina immediately started cooking a meal in our kitchen, asking him what he wanted.
Oh.
That's a wild move. First time meeting the family
Gina.
to cook in the kitchen right after dinner.
Okay.
My brother eats a lot, so I wasn't surprised he needed a second dinner, but it was odd to me that Gina cooked it. He was busy looking at houses for them on Zillow, though, and he had driven them the whole 14 hours, so I brushed it off. But then after my brother ate the meal, basically ground beef and cheese cooked in a pan, yuck, okay.
Amazing.
Unnecessarily mean. It could have been really good. Gina washed all of the dishes. My mom even stepped in to help, but not my brother, who stayed on his laptop the whole time. Okay, so this is a red flag for your brother.
Yeah.
Not for Gina.
Gina sounds like she's trying really hard.
Yeah. The next morning, same thing. We all tend to make our own breakfasts in my house instead of doing a family meal, and my brother and Gina have a conversation about what he wants for breakfast. She cooks him a bunch of eggs. Then I don't even see Gina make any breakfast for herself before she goes and washes all the dishes again. Also unloading our entire dishwasher for us, which my mom or I would have eventually done once we were done eating.
I feel like Gina's trying really hard.
She's trying really hard. This also could be like not normal behavior. It could be like her wanting you guys
compensating
to know that
for like, this is my first impression.
Right.
Yeah.
I stepped in to help her because I felt bad. I didn't see Gina make herself anything to eat. In fact, I didn't see her make herself anything to eat the whole trip. That's also a thing. I'm going to be honest. If I'm around a boyfriend's family, I will never say that I'm hungry.
I will never say.
And I will never like eat a ton of food because I don't want them to be like, man, she's fat and cringe and disgusting.
Man, she's a human. Ew, yuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So
I'm not tired. I'm not allowed.
I'm not tired.
The first time I met Ludwig's family, I was having awful period cramps, like the debilitating ones, and I was like,
you're just like
I would love to go shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They stayed from Wednesday through Saturday. She ate when we had family dinners and on Thanksgiving, but she only cooked for my brother and washed all of the dishes. She even asked me to show her how to use our coffee maker to make him coffee.
Oh my gosh.
Now I'm thinking this is more than just her Southern hospitality. I think my brother is taking advantage of this poor girl who basically functions as his mother. Another note about being with a man. If you feel like his mother and you are taking care of him and helping him with tasks that he cannot or does not know how to do, run. It feels good for a little bit, and then you gotta go, Gina. You gotta get somewhere
Gina
else.
From your brother.
You are not in the business of raising people's sons. You gotta go. Even when my mom reminded him he has a form he needs to fill out for college, Gina said she'll remind him to do it like it's her job. I had a moment of alone time with my grandmother, and she, a very traditional woman and homemaker, even thought this was an unhealthy relationship. I told my mom my concerns and that she might need to talk to my brother about it, but she shrugged it off and said Gina is good for him.
Ew, Mom.
That's also a classic.
Yeah.
Moms babying the sons.
Rolling my eyes at your mother.
Also, probably worth noting that my brother is very religious, conservative, and has a history of saying sexist remarks. I don't want to intrude on their relationship, but I'm flabbergasted that my mom doesn't think something's wrong here. It's a tough one. It doesn't sound good, but also like, I don't know. Sometimes you go crazy in front of the boyfriend's fam. You know?
Yeah, she could have been overcompensating in the moment, but my God, that's so sad for her.
It is really sad. Yeah, it's really sad.
Save. You know what? You give your brother a lecture.
Yeah.
Do it.
Tell him
if your mom's not going to do it.
That's not your mother. Because you're sleeping with her, and that's illegal.
Yeah, it's illegal to sleep with your moms.
Yep.
But I would message her. I would not her. I would message your brother and be like, yo, I saw the way you let Gina do everything for you during Thanksgiving, and that's
say that's
he's conservative, so say that's freaked. Be like, that's freaked up.
Yeah.
That's freaked up, man.
Yeah. And say, I don't think that that's sustainable for you guys long term, and I'm rooting for you to make it all the way to the end. But there is no way she's going to make it at this rate. You're running her into the ground.
I used to be like that. I used to have stars in my eyes, and then you know what? I got tired, and then I decided that I deserve an equal partnership.
Yep. Say that. He would love that. He'd be like, man, I never thought of it that way.
You know what? I don't think you're going to be able to change his mind because he is on the lottery right now.
Gina will probably get sick of it.
Do you want to hear something sad? One time, I've always been a working girl. I think I'm good at like my domestic duties. I'm good. Yeah. I was raised really traditionally, so I'm a pretty I like homemaking things. I like home economics. It was my favorite class. I like cooking. I like cleaning. I like organizing. I'm very messy though, so that seems contradictory. But overall, I love work. I love having a career. Like if I had to choose between being a homemaker or having a career, I'm going to have a career.
Right.
But some people aren't that way, and they want to be a housewife as a full-time job, which is a fucking full-time job. And if your husband can afford you to do that, go off, queen. But I will say one time, so I had a best friend named
Julia.
Julia was my best friend, and she was dating a guy named Brent. And Brent and my boyfriend at the time, whose name was
Jebediah.
I was dating Jebediah. My boyfriend at the time, Jebediah, and Brent would go skiing together.
Mm-hmm.
And one time, I guess, Jebediah was spilling the tea to Brent, and then Brent tells my friend Julia, and then Julia tells me, because Julia and I used to go on walks every single night. So we're on a walk, and this is like an adult relationship. This was we lived together. Like this was a very serious relationship. And we're going on a walk, and she was like, hey, Jebediah said something interesting to Brent today on the slopes. And I was like, what was it? Spill the tea. I love it. And she was like, he says that he wishes you were more of like he just wants to come home from a day of skiing or come home from a day of work and just have like dinner ready and the house clean and like everything aesthetically. Like he wants you to be a housewife. And I was like, that's crazy because we wouldn't be able to afford rent if I was a housewife because I'm the fucking breadwinner, bitch. Like,
yeah.
And it was just like, it was so fascinating to me because deep down, not every, I'll take it back. Not all men. Most men get coddled by their mothers. Get coddled by their mothers. And then, yes, that sounds like an ideal partnership.
Right.
That sounds great. I would love if someone did that for me.
Right.
If I could, like, holy shit,
you
that
came
sounds
home
amazing.
to a clean house and dinner. Yeah.
That sounds great, but that's so just not realistic for a partnership.
Yeah.
Unless someone's full-time job is to do that.
Right.
Great. That's our full-time job. And you better be making enough money in order to like live that lifestyle. But like without that, like how dare you? And so tell your brother to get his shit in line because they're only 20.
Where is he now?
And he's going to set her up for failure. Huh?
Where's Jebediah?
He's chilling somewhere. I don't know.
You tell your brother that if he doesn't get his shit together, he's going to end up just like Jebediah, and he is not going to be in a relationship with QTCinderella anymor, and she is rich.
Yeah. And I'm famous.
And so he's
tell
really gonna miss
Jebediah
out
to
on
text
that.
my ex-boyfriend and say, hey, idiot, you missed out.
Tell your brother to text her
She's almost 30 and she's still hot.
Yeah.
Not as hot as she was at 23, but
still hot.
Still got it.
Still got it. Yeah. Tell him that.
Tell him that. Thanks for watching Wine About It.
You're welcome, everybody, for the complete and thoughtful and exceptional advice.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for submitting your stories and letting us use you for our hot, juicy content. You guys had some amazing Thanksgivings. If you want to see my juicy Thanksgiving story, it's on the Patreon or maybe YouTube. I don't know.
If you want to hear about me and Cutie's worst quality that we really tried to cope our way out of, that we share, that's also on the Patreon.
Yeah, that's probably better to have that on the Patreon.
Because we look like bitches.
We look like assholes. You know what? This made our decision. I forgot about that. Go to the Patreon to see why we're bitches and to see the controversial things that my family said to me.
Don't, editor, don't put those on TikTok. They will destroy us over there. They'll be like, no, these are mean girls. You can tell. They'll be like, no, they hate each other and they hate women.
Any girl with a podcast, they're like, these are mean girls. Also, anyone can have a pod. They give anyone a podcast. I'm like, yeah, they do.
Who's they?
Who's they? Who do I have to call to get a freaking podcast?
We made our own podcast. This is our podcast. This is our podcast.
We gave it to ourselves, I guess.
Please enjoy.
We're going to the Patreon, though. If you don't know the Patreon benefits, it's a bonus episode once a week and stream highlights. And we have a Discord where they're freaking playing Minecraft and they do movie nights on Fridays. And stuff.
I just did my art print before. Tier 3s get an art print every month.
And a recipe card.
We watch Jersey Shore.
And we do watch Jersey Shore. And we both have mini episodes. And my last mini episode was an hour long.
That's true. So you go check that out.
Anyway, the Patreon's great. And I hope you guys like it. And I hope you like us. And if you don't, whatever. Love thy neighbor.
See you on the next one.
Bye.
Goodbye.